This is Suleiman. He's 11 years old and a ridiculously strong chess player. And that's me. I met him when I was in London and we played a chess match. First I'll show you the video of the game and then I'll do an analysis. I hope you enjoy.
Good luck.
Me too.
Ooh. Okay, there's no bonus time. Okay, show me what you have against the Karo Khan.
And then I'm gonna push, then you're gonna play that.
What? Oh, you're gonna go here.
And then if I push, you're gonna do that.
All right. Show me. He knows all my moves better than me.
I'm pushing. Yeah.
Oh. That's the other one I can play. Have you played a lot of tournaments?
In school, yes, but not actual tournaments.
Oh. But you're 2,000.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah, in chess.com, yeah.
That's amazing.
And I do puzzles.
So your puzzle rating is like 2,800 probably.
No, I don't do like, do you know the puzzles that, so there's two types of puzzles. One of them, there's like an actual rating, and one of them, it can go up to like any amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, the any amount one, I am 101,000. I always do puzzles, yeah. I'm a puzzle addict.
I'm an old man, so I just remember my puzzle rush score.
Yeah.
I don't want to distract you on your turn. Okay.
I rarely play this move unless I'm in the London.
Okay.
But
I
have a trick.
You have a trick? If I take your bishop?
Not gonna say.
Not gonna say. Okay, I'm gonna pin you then, since you have a trick.
It's fine.
Okay, I'm still gonna keep you pinned though. Are you gonna keep chasing me?
No, I don't like doing this because it opens up my king.
Smart man. Okay, I'll go here.
You know why I wanted you to take the bishop? Because I wanted you to take, and then I check. Then if you like blocked, I take with the knight and then take your rook. But because the knight was blocking the queen.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I didn't see any of that. So, I got very lucky. Okay.
And then I'm gonna do.
You're telling me your plan before you even play it?
Kind of.
Are you sure it's a good strategy?
Yep.
Okay.
I do it all the time.
Like when you play your friends?
Sometimes.
Okay, you tell them what you're gonna do before you do it?
But sometimes I just trick them.
Do you play any sports?
Yeah, football.
You can't say in football what you're gonna do, right? So
Yeah.
that wouldn't work. Okay. You wanted to press my clock a second time. You just really wanted it to be my move.
Yep.
Oh, you really did that. You said you were going to, and you did. I think this pawn is weak, so I'm gonna try to attack it. Oh. I'm telling you.
My idea was about to do this, but then that's a very bad
just
move.
play the move. You don't have to tell me. It's gonna be so embarrassing if you tell me the moves and then win.
You will win the pawn eventually. You're eventually gonna win the pawn. That's what I know for sure.
Yeah, maybe making me double them was a little risky.
I think this is my best move.
Okay.
How many brilliant moves have you ever done like in one game?
You know, I once asked chess.com to download all my brilliant moves.
How?
They found 0.
0?
Yeah, no, I think they found maybe like 500, 600. But some are fake. Like, you know, fake brilliant moves where it's like brilliant, but it's like silly. But some were actually very nice.
My best brilliant move, I think, was either...
No, don't play that. Don't do that. I'm distracting you.
You sure? Oh, yeah.
I'm just very funny. So you were like, oh, he's so dumb. And then, no. It's not easy to play chess and talk.
I have a plan, but it's very risky. I think you're going to see through it.
Wow.
Wait. I'm not... Yeah.
If we were playing in a tournament, I would have called 4 touch moves.
Yeah.
You have to move that, and then that, all at the same time. Okay,
Chess 2.0.
Yes. By the way, that's exactly how it works. Like in Chess 2.0, you go.
So is it like four moves?
You can do as many moves as you want.
So you can just mate, scholars mate.
Well, the other person would stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes. Okay. If they're smart, otherwise, yes, you could. That's also a future opponent. Like people have stories in New York. They played Fabiano Caruana when he was 4 years old.
Do you
and they're
know?
like, I beat Fabiano.
Do you know what? Do you know Magnus's elo when he beat Kasparov or not?
He drew Kasparov.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know his age?
He was 13.
No, Kasparov.
Oh, old.
Yeah.
Kasparov was old. I don't know.
What about his elo?
He was still very strong.
Because let's say if he was 2,500 and
No,
Magnus,
he was 2,800. Kasparov retired like very close to
2,800.
Yeah.
Since he was 2,800, so if when I'm 13, if I'm basically 2,800 when I'm 13, I have a chance of beating Magnus.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Maybe.
Hopefully Magnus doesn't watch this because one day he's gonna be like, that kid said he can beat me, and then he's gonna challenge you.
I think I can, Magnus.
Would you
One
be?
day.
Would you be? Perfect. Name of the YouTube video right there.
I think I can, Magnus. That's the name.
Would you be more scared to play me or Magnus?
Because I've seen the videos where he had those goggles and played against you, and you said you made a big mistake.
Yeah.
And I've seen I think a 10-year-old tried the stalemate trick on Magnus, and he didn't fall for it. So if you're trying your best, if you're in your prime, maybe you scarier.
Oh.
Because I haven't seen
I'm scarier than Magnus in my
any
prime.
bad move.
That's true. I've never made a bad move.
That's probably true.
Not even in this game.
In this game especially not.
No, I'm playing perfectly.
Right.
I'm looking at the position what is going on? Just don't lose on time,
Yeah.
Or that can be your excuse. I was winning, but he just kept talking and distracted me. And I lost on time.
So it's not my fault that I lost.
You didn't. The game's not over yet.
It's a good thing you don't have a bishop, because then you can.
No. That would have been stupid too.
If I play against you again, I might wanna play, but you without a knight or a bishop.
Oh.
Maybe.
That I'm even stronger than.
Then
That's a very good move because if I take you, that's not nice. Okay, now I want to take the pawn. Yeah, endgames are good.
I don't. The most practice is middle games. I really practice middle games and openings. Middle game, end game, I just look up to Magnus. But opening and middle game, you.
Wow, big mistake. Not the move. Looking up to me instead of Magnus.
No, only in openings.
Yes,
especially openings.
I have pretty tricky openings. That's also a good move. Wow, you do have very good endgames.
Thanks.
I thought it would be
no,
easy.
my idea was to do that, but then that's
That's not good
move.
endgames. That's not good endgames. Endgames are, if you become good at endgames, you're gonna beat every grandmaster in England.
I hope so.
Oh
my god, that was a bad move, I think. Because it's opening up my king.
Yeah, but it's okay. The problem for you is this rook. Getting a rook stuck behind a pawn is... Oh, so he's gonna move it.
Oh, I am so low on time.
Yes.
Take the pawn.
No, how about I don't? No, I will. Wow. Oh, this is a very important trick in endgames. You give a check, you push the king, and now my pawn is weak, so then you come back and you fork. But because I'm already up pawns, it's going to be really hard for you.
This one's isolated, so it's kind of easy.
I can support it.
Yeah, but then
no,
yeah.
This is a very hard endgame to play, first of all, with 10 seconds.
Because I can't defend this.
First of all, with 10 seconds. But also, you have weak pawns.
I'm going to play like bullet.
Okay, check. See, now you're a lot faster, but now I have to win your pawns. And my king is safe, which is important.
Very.
Oh, now you're going to win one of my pawns back. Fine. Take it. I have this pawn.
Oh my god, I have to be so quick. You win.
You said make a move, but you put the rook on the same square. No, it was a very nice game, though.
Thank you.
That was good. That was good. I mean, it was... We just spent so much time talking, but you actually, I think you were in a lot of trouble, but then the position was, I mean, you were only a pawn down. So, okay, in 2 years, we'll play in an official tournament, and I'm going to be really scared. No, it could be anywhere, and I'm sure you'll win. If you keep practicing like this and playing,
I always practice every day.
That's good. That was cool. He's very strong. Wow. That was very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was obviously not an easy game at all. And my opponent, as I already said in the introduction, had never played a chess tournament before. It seemed like this young man had only played online chess. And that was crazy to me. I mean, I had no clue how strong he was going to play. And throughout the game, you know, it became very, very clear that he really knows what he is doing. So he opened with e4. And look, it's no secret. I play the Caro Kann, but I could have played many things. But I wanted him to show me, you know, what he's made of. He was telling me before the game, he knows I'm going to play the Caro Kann. You saw in the video, even in this position, he told me he's going to play the advanced variation, which is one of the most challenging against the Caro Kann because black cannot easily develop. And he was telling me how he knew I was going to play this move, which is one of the moves, right? I have a Caro Kann course on Chessly, my educational platform. If you're watching this and you've never tried my educational platform, you might as well. I'll put a link in the description to check out my Caro Kann course. This is one of the best openings at intermediate and advanced level. I say it all the time, but I played Bishop F5, which is one of the moves. I mostly played Bishop F5 because he was telling me he knew I was going to play C5. And, you know, I wanted to mess with him a little bit. So, Knight F3, E6. The good thing about being a, you know, seasoned player, like I've played many games of chess, is that you build up a level of pattern recognition. And I know that putting the knight in front of the c-pawn in openings where the c-pawn would be very helpful is bad. So I knew right away that on this young man's fifth move, he already made an inaccuracy. And actually, I was just fine. Now, there's two things to mention there, right? It's kind of crazy. You're also going to get good enough watching this, even if you're a beginner, to pick up certain patterns. You'll notice that the white knight here just doesn't really play a role. It would have been better for him to maybe push the pawn out like this, or actually in positions where you can build up a big center and get connect 4. This is even better, and this knight goes over there and repositions itself. But this is just, obviously, you know, this is all pattern based. And so he played knight c3. And now I can play many things, but I decided to play the move c5 because in the Caro Kann you want to finish up your development by putting the knight on the c6 square, and I was very happy to achieve a pretty harmonious position. So he took, I took, and already I was thinking, okay, now I'm going to develop my knights. I'm going to put my knight on the c6 square, as you saw in the game, knight here, etc. And he went bishop d3, which is fine. The computer is criticizing it. Maybe he could have gone bishop b5 check, but if he did that, I would have went here. But he did this, and you know, again, I kind of did it on purpose, where he was telling me about trading the pieces, and he had some idea, like he could get the queen and then maybe go here. But I just decided to put the bishop on g4. I was, you know, again, there's nothing wrong with this move, even though I've moved this bishop once already, and it looks like I'm wasting time. Anytime an opponent's pawn is in the center and it is supported by other pieces, particularly when it is supported by knights, you should try to pin the defender. He went here. I actually could have taken the knight because then he would have, you know, lost the defense of this pawn and I would have started attacking it. But instead of that, I opted to bring the bishop back to h5. Here, the computer recommends that white ignores castling and starts attacking with the pawns. That's very hard to do. That is not a pattern that is easy to recognize. That is not something you see very often. And the point is that if I move my pawn to stop all of this, he then takes my bishop and I have a terrible pawn structure. I have double G pawns, a weak pawn, a weak square, a very weak pawn. If this pawn falls, this pawn falls. So everything is, you know, bad. So he didn't play that though. He castled, which is a much more normal pattern to pick up. I develop my knight, and already I have ideas to take this pawn. First of all, I can just take it because it's pinned. Second of all, I can take the knight and take. So he really should play the move bishop f4 here. But he went here. It was a mistake. And I actually think it was a mistake that if he was playing online and not talking at the same time, that Suleiman would have, he would have probably seen that my idea. He probably would have went bishop f4. In fact, I think he wanted to play bishop f4, but then somehow hesitated. This move is bad for, let's say, two reasons. Obviously, the bigger reason is that he's not defending his pawn. That's the bigger reason. But the other reason, if I couldn't do that for any reason, is that he's damaging his pawns heavily. one of these pawns alone standing in the center is an isolated pawn. It's a pawn that has no neighbors, right? No D and E, no pawns next to it. But now he has doubled isolated pawns. And it's one of these situations where if one of those pawns fall, it's very likely the other pawn falls. It's very hard to defend these pawns. So from a positional standpoint, a strategic long-term standpoint, it's not good. Another thing, by playing this move, he gave himself 3 potential targets. Pawns that are not protected. His pawn on e5 is only ghost protected. It looks like it's protected, but it's not. His pawn on e3 is not protected, and you should try to avoid having weak pawns. You look at my position, I only have 1 weak pawn. Frankly, I have 0. These pawns are not protected, but there is no move in the white position that attacks any of those pawns. None, especially after this move. Now, I played this move to be a little patient. I probably could have already started taking here, but maybe not. Maybe he would have had some traps. But I went here, and now you see he can't move anything forward. By not being able to move forward into your opponent's position, it's already difficult. But he also doesn't have a target, and I was trying to play a bit positional. Now he definitely should have kicked out my bishop. He should have identified that this bishop is really the problem, and he should kick it out. But he went here. Okay, it happens, right? And I began applying pressure to one pawn, and hopefully in the future the second pawn. I kind of slowed him down. Kids are very good tactically. They're very good with tricks, forks, pins, skewers, and I kind of froze his pieces because I wasn't, I was trying to make a YouTube video, but I wasn't trying to lose. He goes rook e1, and obviously his idea was to defend his center and ultimately open up. But now I pick up the pawn. Not only do I pick up the pawn because of the pin, right? I pick up the pawn with a level of protection. He played bishop e2, and now I should trade my bishop for the knight. Why? Because my bishop served its purpose, and my knight is very strong. My knight keeps an eye on the bishop, could potentially go here and attack this weak square, but also, let's just develop. I mean, I haven't finished developing. I should get my king out of the center, and I shouldn't rush, right? He goes a3, fine, and I castle. So it's never too late to hit the pause button during a chess game and just make 2 improving moves. Simple, easy. And I was going to try to see how is this young man going to deal with his worst position. He played well. I mean, he was making good active moves. Queen d4. It's actually funny. I was sort of on autopilot during the game. And I kind of wanted the game to go, like, I wanted to show this kid what he has, to show me what he's got. When I play against anybody and I'm a stronger player and we're playing on the camera, I'm not trying to, like, prove a point. I try to prove a point against titled players, IMs, GMs. It's like sparring in the gym. Here I could have played knight takes, pawn takes, queen g3. And you should do this if you're playing in a game. But I was like, let me see what you got, right? Great move he plays here. Gets rid of his weak pawn. It's a great move, showing high-level understanding of the game. All his pieces coordinate there. And you'll have to excuse me touching my nose all the time. Promise I'm not doing anything bad. I'm just really suffering with allergies. And every country in Europe so far has been different, allergies. Like in Spain, I was fine. In London, I was dying. Here, I'm really struggling in Prague for some reason. But anyway, I took, and yeah, I was thinking, well, I mean, I still have to play the game out, there's not a very clear advantage here for me. He has a very, very solid position. Now, in endgames, right, this is going to be a little bit of an endgame masterclass. You got to think about which pieces are necessary to trade and what is your greatest strength in the long run. In the long run, it's actually this pawn. Your pawn could be one of your greatest strengths. It's a pass pawn. It's a pawn that has a path to the end of the board, not hindered by pawns. So I'm going to have to nurture that. I can't move too many pawns too quickly because my king could get weak, and this is weak, right? So I kick his queen out of the center. He goes here, and I bring both rooks. Makes sense. He goes bishop takes knight. Not a good move. I mean, obviously, he played it to kind of keep the position. First of all, he has to make moves and not lose on time. He just sort of played it out of inertia. But his bishop is better than my knight. He should probably consider a move like pawn to c3 so that the bishop is never mandatory having to defend. And then he should bring his rooks to the middle. He needs to keep his queen on the board. That's what I would recommend. The moment that he begins trading off, I guess, okay, the way I did this, I would lose a pawn. But let's just say it was something like this. This is a problem. Once he starts trading off his best attacking pieces, defending is going to get a lot harder. And so he traded off his good bishop, right? And now I can slowly expand. And also I'm going to put pressure. And in endgames, piece activity is everything. Getting a rook to the second rank would be really important. By the way, you're going to witness how in this game, I tried to do exactly that, you know. He played passively, right? This is why he should have pushed the pawn. He doesn't need a rook defending this pawn. He needs the pawn defended by the pawn. He needs the rook being active. It would have been really good for him to have a position that looked like this. And if we traded, you know, suddenly his rook is actually, it's very useful. It's not so simple for me to play. I would have to trade the rooks with him. But as we saw in the game, you know, I began advancing, and here I have 2 active rooks and he has only 1. And I'm attacking this pawn, I'm attacking this pawn. This pawn is ready to march down the board. But I mean, Kid played great. He was trading the rooks with me. He activated his rook at the end for activity, found a nice little trick. But I was just a little bit too sharp, a little bit too experienced. I picked up the pawns, and I think in this position he ultimately ran out of time. But already it's very difficult. I mean, black is totally winning. But he was really, really good. I mean, his opening was good. I managed to win a pawn just because he got a bad pawn structure. And honestly, to take it, you know, his chess to the next level, you just need to put more pressure on your opponents in the opening. Obviously, not all of all opponents for a 2,000 rated player are going to be they're not going to be that strong, but every opening you play, you need to not just develop and play, you know, you have to put pressure. Chess is a competitive game ultimately. So maybe in the future, Suleiman learns the Tal variation and he plays really aggressively and tries to, you know, put some pressure like this, as opposed to just developing, etc. But tough game. Kid was really, really strong, and I was very happy to have played him. So makes all this traveling exciting and worth it, and super cool to see all the young chess fans around the world. And that's all I've got for you today. If you still haven't gotten a ticket, you managed to watch this second week of May 2025, get a ticket. See you in Berlin, Munich, or Warsaw. And if I don't see you, I'll keep making videos. Get out of here.